my dear ones. She's getting close. Holy man. Holy crap. We have a lot going in this book. And I guess it'll be after the first of the year, though, because Pat can't get down here to record till after the first of the year. She's got finals and everything else she's got to grade. And, so it's looking pretty good. I'm excited about that book. It just really, really excites me. The first three books here excites me a lot because the one is the difference between allopathy and naturopathy. Matter of fact, I'm going to put in there the differences so everybody understands the different modalities. You know, when you have power and control like you have right now, it's just vomitous how a few are allowed to control and ruin the many. It's just sick. And of course, we all learned that with the shutdowns and the vaccines. However, a lot of us already knew who's behind all this, and the world order and the Illuminati, whatever name you want to give them, and the global people. But these are all negative forces, you know, and this is, when I'm looking at this, I am so proud of all of you guys for developing yourself, getting your physical body healthy, and getting your spirituality in line, because, you know, it's kind of a mess out there, but things are going, things are working, you know. Gosh, so many things going on. This the third book is going to be actually be the third book will be on the lymphatic system, and that one is going to be the big one. It's going to be a big book. This one fairly large itself. The naturopathic and allopathic won't be so big, but it's time this planet understands the naturopaths and what they have to offer, homeopaths and what they have to offer. This whole thing of the world order and Rockefellers and the medical profession trying to slam the homeopaths of Europe and stuff like this, when you go back and look at history, this is this narcissistic bull crap that just makes you want to throw up. It's got to end. If you're going to have a healthy planet, it's got to end, or the planet will terminate itself. Keep going like this, the humans don't wake up, and you still have those in power, it's going to destroy this planet and them. And then they have a long cycle of karma to pay. I wouldn't want that, would you? But it's kind of sad in a way that a few have affected so many. You know, it's just sad stuff. So now I hope the medical world is proud of themselves because they sit on the top of killer of humans on the planet. Bar none. Bar none. So when you go to a medical doctor, remember you're going to a person that is practicing a modality that is the top killer of humans on this planet. Period. End of story. This last vaccine sent you past number 2, number 1, way out there. There's no way war or anything else will ever come to this because you generally don't kill 100 million people in war. So that's a big problem. You see that other singer that went off, 30 years old, went down with a heart attack singing. It's just, you're going to see a lot more of that. Just keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. So wake up time. Very important to wake up with all of this and realize that you've been under power and control probably since the beginning of this planet, really. So the spirituality energies and the higher consciousness energies are grinding. And you'll see. Pretty crazy. Oh, look at this. Isn't it cute? We celebrate Christmas around here. Yeah, we had our Christmas party last Friday. Poor Carrie only bowled. They went bowling. She only bowled 20. Oh, poor thing. Gutter guards. Let's see how you guys are doing. The reason I go over these every time, when you understand the simplicity of healing, and you got it, right? Now it's about the case. What do you do with the cases? It's kind of like a New York City detective. He gave me this. I think it was a detective that gave me this. I love those guys. And they were talking about all the murders, and stuff like that, And I said, how do you deal with all of that? I mean, I've seen people blown up and stuff like that. But he said, you get to the point where you just wonder how they did the next one. And it's just, whoa, horrible thing, This is a pretty interesting planet. You definitely have the good, the bad. I mean, you really look at these two forces hitting each other real hard right now. And just remember, things in your life are the same way. You're going to have positive experiences and negative experiences. Be careful with your mind. Remember, it's just a body and not yours. You're only using it. So some of the thoughts that come in might not even be yours. Remember that. Don't beat yourself up with your mind and emotions. Get out of your mind and emotions. And that's what we've been teaching you through these videos, is learning how to step back from your desires, step back from your attention, so firmly focused on the outside world, you just pull back a little bit. And, I was out meditating at 3 o'clock this morning. I watched 6 o'clock come, I watched 6:30, and then the sun started coming up. But these are the times when you spend alone that you can connect, if you get out of your mind and out of your emotions. In other words, you just be. Learn how to relax, and just be. No thoughts, no desires. Just hang out with yourself and see what that feels like. You might find you like it too much. That was my problem. Went out in the woods, became a hermit, and liked it too much. But these cases are everything to helping you win the day. And there are cases that you're not going to win for various reasons. One reason could be the individual themselves, And most of the time, of course, it is. And one big one we were talking about here the other day was the emotional component. The astral world is so impactful. Remember, the astral world is much more powerful than this world. So emotions are much more powerful and its movement and effect than actually chemistry is on this planet, on this physical realm. So the power, and then of course when you get in the mind, you're all power creation-wise. But you have different levels of the mind. And your understanding, the ability to access these things are all relative to your awareness, or lack thereof. And we're all on our individual journeys, all playing with the goop, the Play-Doh of creation. I like to think of it as an Etch-a-Sketch. And I'm thinking, oh, look, this is pretty neat. And I was thinking several years ago, they was showing me some Etch-a-Sketch pictures, and I was going, you're not going to Etch-a-Sketch this world, are you? Could be. Hello, Dr. Morse. I'm not even sure where to start. I'm 48 and hurting everywhere. Okay, so, excuse me, the first thing, when you're hurting everywhere, we call that systemic, right? So that means, blood does not cause pain. All right, so get that out of here. Blood does not cause pain unless, what? You've got what they call ischemia. You've got the withdrawing of blood from tissue. In other words, if I block blood flow to tissue, you're going to have a lot of pain there. Those nerves are going to scream out, right? But the lymphatic system, that's when you start feeling the pain. Why would the lymphatic system be a lipid-based system if all the wastes of cells were alkalis? And of course, that's not true, just knowing biochemistry. So you're right on the pot of acids. And another part of this is generally when your lymphatic system's backed up, you're fighting two things: bacterium, microorganisms, basically bacterium and the fungal community, right? One is a nitrogen, phosphorus protein side, bacterium. Those are the gnarly boys. And then you got the fungi people dealing with moles, warts, and goes on down that line, yeast, stuff like this, all same family in my opinion. And they leave uric acid. Remember that? Uric acid is about a 2.65 according to the Minnesota School of Dentistry, a 2.65 pH. Ow! Ow! The little pinprick acid. Remember, 3 pH kills cells. Probably 3.5, actually. So anything hotter, what'd you think? Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know who thought chemotherapy could ever clean somebody and make them feel good. I mean, you're oh man. You know what gets me is these guys are blatantly doing this in front of all of us and getting away with it and probably laughing every night at dinner while they're eating a T-bone. I mean, it's just disgusting. When you really sit back and look at it, it's almost laughable if it wasn't so sickening. So again, you have to look at that. And when your sewer system's backed up like that, which is the lymphatic system, you're going to have some fungal problems. And that could be some additional pain systemically. And if you are craving for starches, of course, you are going to bring some of these high alkalotic states. But really, you're going to get the ammonias more with the proteins. We're going to write about that a lot in the diet book, particularly. Very important that man understands the diet you should be on. Now, whatever diet you end up, kind of balancing out with, that's up to you. I was still able to heal this in 2 days. That's pretty good. I'm 48 and hurting everywhere. Grew up in Eastern Europe, so Eastern Europe, we got cheese, right? So if we think of cheese eaters, now I'm not saying that this gentleman is, but as a rural Europe, I'm associating wine and cheese. It was when I was there in Portugal all the time. Here's your wine and here's your cheese. But also in France, big time. Grew up in, moved to U.S. at 22. Been on HRT. For 15 years for extreme menstrual pain and stopped 1 year before giving birth. You know how toxic HRT is, right? And a lot of ladies aren't doing so good with that, right? Yeah, this is bad news, bears. That's one reason you're hurting all over. So you have to bring about a hydration and a detoxification and to get out any residues of this chemistry in you. Okay, so for 15 years for extreme menstrual pain and stopped 1 year before giving birth. I started menopause 2 years ago, and she's 48. So what's her problem? Right off. And this is a problem because she's conceived now. This could be a big problem for everyone here. So what is the first thing? If a woman can't have a monthly period until she's 46 years old, what are you thinking? What controls all that? The ovaries? Where are you going? Right here. You're going right up to a woman's pituitary gland. Where else would you go, Mr. Medical Doctor? You don't know about the pituitary gland? Absolutely. And look at all the ladies out there in our site that have had beautiful babies now. They couldn't conceive, same problem, and now they have beautiful, healthy babies because you want to fix. You just don't want to do a little to conceive. You want to fix the problem because your baby will have that problem too. See, and this is the problem mothers have to learn is that they have a lymphatic system in their body that becomes one with the child. And then, of course, all the genetic weaknesses from both sides and going back in time. So this is a big deal here, and it's a pituitary problem right off. So again, we're into this area. Let's see if we have any bowel problems or anything else here going with this. I started menopause 2 years ago, developed gluten sensitivity. I feel everything is inflamed in my body because it is. You actually, sweetheart, are feeling what's actually going on. Now you can describe it because you know now the difference between how many sides of chemistry? Oh, 2 sides. We got a nice chart coming on that. I worked all weekend on charts and stuff. But all right, so you've got only 2 sides of chemistry. Pick one, and then let's look at it. Well, let's pick the alkaline side first, right? That's blood. That generally doesn't cause any problems with any tissue or anything. Doesn't warp anything unless there's some kind of gnarly chemistry added to that. And then the body does like to dump that chemistry back into, the spleen and the lymphatic system. I get it. Okay. So when you're feeling all of this, you're feeling only one system. And you're feeling your lymphatic system. Well, what else we got going? Kidneys and adrenals, correct? Kidneys and adrenals, because you can't have a lymphatic obstruction or agglomulation without having kidney and adrenal problems, right? Right, because they're the main eliminative organs. But you also have another little fella in here called the skin. And this fella is the largest eliminative organ of your human body. Plus, it's controlled by what? 2 of them right here. What do you think? Thyroids, right? Thyroids what? Control metabolism, the rate of metabolisms. So that's why you see fast metabolisms in hyper and very slow metabolisms in hypo. It's a rate of oxidation of the human body. Well, if you can't get enough temperature, enough movement to sweat, guess what happens subcutaneously in the skin? Agglomulation of the lymphatic system. So you got 2 things to think about there. But wait a minute. We're talking master gland here, talking master gland. So we're going to also be looking at her parathyroid glands. We're going to look at this lady pretty good because she hadn't been able to conceive in 46 years. And now at 46, she's got a baby. But my guess is hard to fix yourself in 2 years and not pass some of this. So I don't know. Let's see what else we got going here. So you feel just what's going on. And my body dealing with lots of mucus, joint pain, and lately half-headed aches. Yeah, I mean, your body's going through and then you've been on HRT program, right? Everything on my left or right side alternating hurts, including inside my ear, under my jaw, and even my hair. Yeah, that's how acidic you are. My question is your rings turning yet on you? I mean, you really got a big systemic agglomeration going there. And there's only one system in your body that's causing this. Water doesn't cause this. Blood doesn't cause this. So guys, where else are we going? Aha, the sewer system, the immune system. Hello. Is it bigger than your blood system? Much bigger. What, 3-4 times? Yeah. Wow. You got a fluid-based system 3-4 times bigger than the blood system. Shouldn't we know all about the blood system? How come we don't know jack doo-doo about? Yeah, good question. It took a guy peeing in a jar in a van living in the woods to find the filtration of kidneys. Holy crap. Okay. I had my appendix removed at 4 years old. There it is right there. That means she was very agglomerated interstitially along the bowel wall, colon and small bowel. So what's something we can safely say with this? Malabsorption? Big time. Goes without saying. Oh, this even gets better. Oh, shit. All right, partial thyroidectomy at 29. Makes sense. Oh, these guys will never grow up. And gallbladder removed at 46. Oh, crap, honey. I wish you'd have found us a lot sooner. A gallbladder is your doorway to the lymphatic system, lipid-wise. I was born without 6 teeth, including wisdom ones, although I did pretty well in school. Lots of love. You're sweet. You know, this is exactly why I do this. And I'll do it till my head falls on the table. People like this. So she's had growth problems, hormone growth problems since the beginning. And this could have been corrected when she was back more in the, even in the mother. But if you didn't even know in the mother, definitely as she's birthed, you can go right after a case like this. You see that young lad, that dad pretty much, fractured a lot of his bones, ribs and everything. And then, of course, they say a fourth of his brain had necroticized. So we went after that young lad through the mother's milk because she was scared of us giving him herbs directly. So she said, I'll take the herbs. I said, well, let's try it. And my God, it worked. Unbelievable. And that's the sort of thing we have to wake up to, is how do you get a hold of these young children when they're young and fix them so they don't have a life like this? That's disgusting. And that's what I'm saying. Allopathy just removes or gives you poisons. And I get it. In today's world of pharmaceuticals, you got to have some. But ultimately, only a few. I had very traumatic divorce and dealt with a son who started doing substances to find his peace. That takes a toll on a mother right there when you have children that went down toward the coke or meth side. Get this. This lady is something else. Started doing something, okay. Held down jobs while going to school full-time. Completed 2 master's degrees in U.S. and the Music Conservatory in Europe. I realize that I've been through a lot of trauma and stress, still am, but I need to find a solution in order to save my life and help my 22 years old now find his way. Please believe me that I'm completely exhausted mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I totally get it. So, your son needs to listen to these videos and learn how to go beyond this world. You don't have to do drugs. Learn what the mushroom or LSD high gives you. Learn what the present moment is about. If you want to find yourself, you can only find yourself in the present moment. Outside of that, you're dealing with a mind and you're dealing with bodies. And when you deal with bodies, they can be affected by external stimuli, including other beings. So, to find who you are, there's a lot of lost people, a lot of lost souls right now. And you're only lost. Where are you lost? You're only lost to yourself. And that's the problem. Our attention is so outwardly focused that we don't even know who we are. And so when we're left in times of aloneness, we freak out. We turn on TV. I knew a lady once, she had a TV in her bathroom, in her kitchen, and in her bedroom, and in her living room. And they were all on in the morning. I said, honey, you really need to get a hold of the self and not be scared to be alone, because you're always alone. You can't change that. You can't terminate your physical body through suicide and think you're going to correct it, because you're still there. That's the problem. You're only using a body. You end the body, guess who's still there? So you got to get with one. You got to get with the self, because you can't get rid of it. But you can't judge the self by looking at your mind and looking at your emotions and looking at your physical body and how it looks or whatever. We're giving you the remedy to fix it. Fix everything you want. But the mind can't fix itself. The emotions can't fix themselves. Only you can fix them, but you got to get away from them to see them to fix them. You can't use thoughts to control other thoughts and come out on top, because you're wallowing in the goop of creation. You're in toyland, and you're trying to find truth. Truth isn't in toyland. The only truth in toyland is, guess what? The only truth in toyland is you. And you, and you, and you, and you. You always come here and listen. You, and you, and you. The same thing with you, sweetheart. You have to do the Buddha thing, the Jesus thing. I don't care anymore. I've learned, and spirit, the ek, the prana, the life force, whatever you wish to call it, has brought me along to this space. I burned off my karma with this gentleman. I burned off this with this. I burned off with this. And now she's finally going, what? Now this lady's finally going, me. Good. And a lot of you ladies are the same way. It's always outside and helping everybody else, but what about me? And this is the time that you really need to take. You've had to remove some really important tissues in the body, and now you need to correct it and get that all fixed up. You may be able to grow a gallbladder back if you can get all raw. Who knows? I've seen any kind of physician possible, including functional medicine docs, but I'm not seeing any improvements. I weigh 22 pounds more than when I was 9 months pregnant and cannot lose the weight. Well, you had part of your thyroid removed. You are edemic as hell, I am sure, and you're probably holding a ton of water weight. You are one acid, sweetheart, from head to toe. That's what you're telling us here. And now you've got to hydrate properly. So try your all fruit. If you can go all grapes, try all grapes. If not, work it out. Where are you doing grapes in the morning, salad at lunch, grapes at night, or whatever fruit. I wouldn't do melons or anything like that, and I wouldn't juice them. This is when you got to pay attention to too much water. I've seen commercials where they have a big glass of water there. You got to be real careful with edema. And giving this person more water would be extremely dangerous. And that's why you can't lose weight. You're way too acidic, and then you've got adrenal gland metabolism issues, thyroid metabolism issues. You have all these things, so you have to pull back and eat simplistically, chew really well. You've got to get your gut cleaned out, because I can tell you what I can see in your gut right now, and that's not, you've got to clean your gut. You've lost your appendix already, very malabsorbed. Your transverse colon, obviously, problematic here. Pituitary, problematic. Very serious stuff here. And I'm waiting for the parathyroid stuff to hit, to be honest with you guys. Oh, she's funny here. Excuse me. Given the thyroid problems, I tried to follow all the diets under the sun to do no avail. The only diet that can help you is a raw food diet. Whether it's vegetables and fruit combination, berries, whatever. And only a raw food diet, because that's where you'll find your electrons. That's where you find your true hydration. And so that's what you need to be. You need to get into an all raw diet. Use dates, figs, whatever, get all raw, because you made note down here, wait a minute. I know you're advocating for raw food, but my stomach hurts terribly when I eat only raw. Then get the stomach tea. See, you got a lot of inflammation everywhere, sweetheart. You're going to have to use herbs to buffer this. And we have a stomach tea, I think, that we can use to buffer that, to pull that inflammation out of the wall a little bit, and to coat that. But I say chew, 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 chew. This is where you're going to have to digest your food for a little while. And protein is not on the menu. Neither is starch. You got to pull yourself away from these things. Going on an herbal program, get the detox kit. You hit Parasite M, double the dosage. And I'd also double the dosage on endocrinology. Endocrine gland, double the dosage, and double the dosage of Parasite M. I cannot tolerate onion, raw broccoli, or... Guess what? I think her problem is too. All right, so if someone can't handle onions, broccoli, or cauliflower, what you thinking? And she's really inflamed there. She can't. What you thinking? Sulfur. That's what I'm thinking. She's got it loaded up with sulfur. Honey, you got to send me your eyes now. We're all curious. You got to send me your eyes here. But that's a tall tale sign. She can't handle the cruciferouses. Those are your sulfur babies. And if you've got sulfur in your gut, that does not do well. And then, of course, she's hypofungal. That only makes sense. My biggest problem is that I love to cook from scratch and enjoy my cuisines around the world. You know what I say there, sweetheart? Put them on hold. This thing can never do that again. But can't you put something on hold when you're suffering really bad like you are? Put these friggin' cook on hold. There you go. Now, I'm going to do raw for 6 months to a year. Get this pain out of me. Fix my pituitary, because if I don't, my parathyroid, I could lose my bones. I could lose my skin, wrinkled all over the place. You could lose prolapsing, bowels folding over. I mean, you just go down a long line. Never have nice fingernails, boobies sagging. All these things like this is what you're in line for if you have a parathyroid weakness. And it's fixable. Isn't that cool? But again, here's this little look over to this pituitary here. And obviously she's had growth problems from the beginning. But my question is, if you're so smart, medical community, how come you haven't figured this out and been able to help people like this? That's because your thoughts are wrong. You're using disease theories, germ theories, and toxic pharmaceuticals. Where are you going to go with that? Nowhere. Matter of fact, things are just getting worse. Now the whole modality is trying to kill everybody. I mean, it's just crazy. By the way, my publisher got a hold of me and said that Greece wants to take out the vaccine part of my book. Would I let him do that? I'm terrified even thinking that I need to give all that up. All right. Did I say lifetime? No. But I did say put it on hold, because if you don't put this on hold, sweetheart, let's go. Come on. Let's be truthful with each other. Come on. Nothing's going to change. You're going from one doc to another doc to another doc. You ever get tired of doing that? You say you might find that magic person that has a magic love potion number 9. No, it doesn't work that way. There's no one out there with love potion number 9. Well, there might be some good, but you know what I mean, right? This is all you. You have to do this. There's nobody around you forcing you to do anything. You don't want to cook, you want to cook, that's up to you. But when you suffer, you can't complain. The worst thing you can do, guys, is assume that your lifestyle and all the chemistry you're playing with has no effect on your suffering. That's the most stupidest thing that the medical doctors have ever come up and said at all. Does that make sense? That all the chemistry you're playing with has no effect on your suffering. Give me a break. Jesus. That alone doesn't make that modality very high off the ground. That's crazy. That's the only good thing I have left. Honey, you're starving. You're starving, sweetie. You're starving for spirituality. You're starving for yourself. What? You have everything left. This is just a physical body. This is just a... Where is it? Oh, yeah, come on, how? Come on, talk away. Okay. This is just a physical body. Who's behind you? Or this woman? Huh? Who's behind the eyes of this lovely woman I'm talking to right now? What's your name anyway? No name. Stay there. Be good. So the problem is, you're at the magic door right now. You're at your doorway to find your remedy. This is the doorway to the God worlds, hate to tell you, and to the worlds of getting well. Now, you can open it, you can look in, you can peek in, you can do whatever you want to do, honey. but you've got some work to do to fix yourself, your physical body. Yourself, you're in a bad need to spend some time alone and go like this. You've suffered enough. You're suffering physically from genetics and the lymphatic system. These are all fixable things. But you're suffering from a lack of understanding and enjoying the self. And you need to spend some time doing that. Love the self. Not egotistically, divinely. Realize that you, along with everyone else, whether you're a plant, an animal, a mineral, or whatever, came out of the same source. There's not a bunch of gods out there and everybody came from a different god. That's stupid. I have an extremely demanding job, global project manager for a pharma company. Right there could be some bad comment. Where I sit 8 to 15 hours a day working from home, so very isolated most of the time. Good, enjoy that isolation. Get into the wa. Get into the self. There's no one any finer than yourself. You just got a body that needed to be fixed, and no one here on this planet knows how to fix human bodies except you guys now, and you're at that doorway now. Open the door, come in. We're a bunch of us in here. It's feeling pretty good. We love each other. I've been, of course, diagnosed with ADHD, depression, anxiety. All right, there she hit it. Finally hit it. Thank you. Parathyroid. You know, and that's the thing we got to look at with this case. When you're a pituitary case, you can just about throw your money a little over on that parathyroid side as well. And look at here, depression is one of them. So you got to get happy, but your endocrinology's down. All the glands that make the cells happy and make you happy are not happy. They weren't happy when they came to this planet. So you got to make them happy, right? Because if you don't make them happy, who does? See, everybody's relying on some doctor or someone else to help them. That's why I'm doing these. I want you to have the power to fix yourself. That way no one can lie to you anymore. You know your own. That's why I teach you iridology. I teach you all these things because you now hold the power of looking at your own body, looking at others, how to fix them, boom, boom, boom. And look at all you guys that are helping people. Some of you guys have gotten famous. A lot of you guys, your businesses are skyrocketing. Cool stuff. People need help. And you, sweetheart, need help. And then you'll become one of the ones that help others because you found your remedy. But you've got to work it. You can't just sit on the outside and go, well, sounds good, but I just can't change my diet because that's all I have left is the food I eat. That's pretty shallow. That's pretty shallow. You have yourself. Let me give you a big hug. Okay? You have a lot more than your friggin' cook. I don't even know where to start on how to go about it. I've been lied to, cheated, and deceived me about all kinds of diagnoses, treatments, supplements, etc., only to spend a fortune and not see any kind of improvements. My brain is affected, can't remember things, had severe fog over 10 years now. I literally feel that I'm not able to go one anymore. I've seen some of your videos and decided to give it one more try. I know you're relying upon your live episodes, but I never seem to find the answer to my questions. I've been reached out before, and given my challenging daily schedule, I'm not able to watch every single one. Well, we'll try to reach out to you, honey. Thank you for all my heart, Dr. Morse. Big hug and much love from Michigan. Ah, you're a Michiganer. Ah, that's why. All I can say, sweetie, you hold the power in your hands. And we're right here to help you. We do not claim that we run magic here. We claim to know the truth about how chemistry works and how your body works. And we've got a lot of people doing this around the world that's caught themselves out of wheelchairs. I mean, I've had 50 years of clinicals of curing people. Yeah, there's some people that can't be cured, and you don't want to be one of them, and you're talking like that. You have to change your whole way. You're going to the wrong doctors. You can go to, that's that one lady I read the other day. Remember that? 33 medical doctors. I went, when did it dawn on you that they don't have the answers to your problems? How many do you want to go through? Maybe this guy knows something no one else does. They all read the same crap, follow the same thing. Unless you get a good old boy there or girl, lady, that has had years of working with people, probably an old little hometown doc. Now you might have someone with some sense and not afraid to go, I don't use vaccines because all my kids have ADD from them. You know, docs that are willing to stand up for the truth, docs that are willing to, to learn and grow and expand. There's a lot of medical doctors that uses herbs out there and uses things other than pharmaceuticals. You just got to find them. But I know a few, and I get some writing to me all the time, and I apologize that I don't call a lot of you back, and particularly their medical doctors. I'm just so daggone busy. I've never been so busy. It's insane. But we've got some very top-notch books coming out for you, text level, but also very simple to understand and right on point. If you in any of our books that we write, the three books coming, if you can deny anything, you come tell us. But you do not want to be the one that falls, because you're falling to yourself. You hold the power in your hands. You're access to these videos. You have access to Marco and all these people, all our students. You've got access to tons of people out there. So if you're still sitting on the other side of the fence, it's because you're not spiritually mature enough. You need to get that. And generally you have to suffer to the point that you're willing to let go before you have that spiritual awakening. You ever notice that? We talked about that on the last video, like a born again. I just can't handle it anymore. I give it all over to God. Oh, look, I'm now happy. Oh, good. Oh, wow, that's good. I didn't mean to burden you, God, but no, because you are it in form. And your actions are coming from all the way through. You just don't know that. And when you quit focusing so much in the outside world of form, wow. And that's when your son, using drugs to try to find the answers, you'll never find them. And some of these drugs just open the doors for sit-ins or walk-ins in you. And it's like, no. Learn how to simply stop thinking. Become the observer instead of the thinker. That very simple analogy. Watch. Don't think. Learn how to watch, and when a thought comes in, stop it. You can't stop your thoughts? Work on it. But sweetheart, you gotta get raw. You're hurting from head. I mean, when you're reading this, and then you say, "But that's all I have left is food." Honey, come on. You're a beautiful woman. And I can tell a spiritual one. Look at what you've trying to pull yourself out of this with no help. But you have help. You've come to our site, and that's what our site does. Whether you like it or not, we help people. And your opportunity is there, sweetie. So very much recommend you put cooking to the side. I'll be back 6 months or a year from now. Or go a month. Hit a month. Give me a month, honey. Give me a month of grapes in the morning, salad at lunch, and then grapes at night. If you can afford some herbs, understand why the herbs. These are not supplements that try to do whatever they do with supplements. Deficiency, this doesn't work that way. You're after a system that's agglomerated in your body, and you better learn it. Because if you don't learn it, it will come back on you, and it's coming back on you already. Now, what's the next thing? Tumors. Yeah, I mean, you're ripe for them. And then you removed all these organs now, and glands, and lymph nodes. So, what could possibly cause that? You have to understand that we're sitting on truth, that you have a lymphatic system in your body, and you better get with it. Because if you don't, it'll get with you. No excuses. That's just what the negative forces want. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, good. Right? Are you better than the negative forces? You all are. That's right. I'm not playing, but you If you look to the negative forces, they will be glad to put their arms around you. They're not that bad if you like that level of consciousness. I've worked with them all the time. And then on the other side, I'll cuss the hell out of them. It's just the way life is. But survival is in your hands. Survival is not in the hands of a medical doctor. Survival is not in the hands of me. I'm bringing you information that you can use. Check it out. But if you're sitting on the sidelines going, I don't know, I'm in all these places, I don't know, okay, you're always going to be on the sidelines and you're going to keep suffering because every day you live, your cells are constantly producing acid waste. Where are they going? You're not eliminating them. So how do you get better? You're not. You're losing more tissue and more tissue as you go on. So, time to woman up. That's what I say. Woman up and tackle this. And then do this for 30 days. Fix yourself something you really like. Go ahead and eat it. Enjoy that meal to the max. Next day, take right off and do another raw month. Give yourself, okay, I did good. Fix yourself a meal that you like. No problems. One meal's not going to stop everything you're doing or reverse everything you've done. No. But you might feel it, just warning. But you got to go through this, or I don't know how you get out of this. There is no getting out. I've been 50 years studying everything on this planet I can. And I don't think I'm a stupid person. So I've looked at everything possible for the answers to wellness. And you've got them. So you can go to somewhere else. They have them go to Hippocrates if you want. Enjoy that level of thinking. Or do the coffee enemas of Gerson. Have fun with those guys. Those are the supplement people. They have you on digestive enzymes. They have you on all the crap. The C's, the B's, and all this stuff like that. That is crap. That is a waste of money. And if you notice, that people are still in the same position they always have been. Sorry, I can only get to one case, sweetheart, but you are a very important case. You've got to fix yourself because no one else will. We'll help you. We're all here. Hugs, information. This is what you do. You've got tons on GrapeGate. You've got all kinds of people there to help you. Don't be timid. Be strong. The timid don't survive well. You notice that? An old saying, the strong survive, the weak are terminated. And don't be one of the weak. Be a woman warrior. You got it in you. I can tell. Now come out. You're getting the information you need to fix yourself. No one can give you a pill, an herb, a vitamin, a mineral, or anything that's going to make all that systemic glomulation go away. It don't work that way. That's the tough part of what we're teaching you is that you got to roll up your sleeves and actually go to work. And you first got to go on a fruit and berry diet. This is going to be good. Love you guys. Oh, my friend. You want to say goodbye? They want to say goodbye. Goodbye. Stay there.